Welcome to today's Workwell Command Center video tutorial. I'm Bob, I'm from Workwell Software, and I'll be presenting an online booking tutorial to help you to get more familiar with the Workwell Command Center. So thanks for joining me. Online booking is a great and easy way for you to allow your customers to schedule themselves. An online booking widget, similar to what you see here, would appear on your business website. Workwell Software provides this to you. There's no charge to you from Workwell or to your customers. And of course, it's completely optional. You do not have to have this on your website. So the idea is to enable your customers to book themselves using this online booking widget that's on your website. Okay, so let's walk through what your customer might experience. So they come to your website, and on the front page and all the pages at the top, you'll need to have a button that says something like Book Now. You don't see that here, but it would be on your website. And that would, when they click on that button, it'll bring you to this. And this is what Workwell provides you automatically and for free. So they go through a sequence here. They start by choosing services. So they'll, for example, choose some carpet cleaning, some tile cleaning, whatever it is your company provides as services. And this list is automatically filled out from information that's in the Workwell Command Center. And you see that the total price is calculated in the individual prices. And optionally, you set a minimum price. In this case, we set a minimum price of $100. Then the customer has to choose a day. Say they want to choose this Tuesday. They see that there's 2 time slots available, so you've set aside 2 times that you can do this work. Let's say they choose the 10:10 time slot. Next, they fill out all of their contact information, their name, their address, their phone number, and email. They must enter all of this information or they can't proceed. And then they simply click Finished. So we see in this case that the customer is informed that they're outside of your service area. This may impact whether you accept the job or not, and even how you price it. They then select OK. So all this information is then sent up into the cloud and then transferred over to the Workwell Command Center. So on the dashboard, you'll see a notification that there's a new job, and I'll show you in a moment how you go about processing that job. Okay, so now let's go to the Workwell Command Center. So you see we're at the dashboard page. At the very left, this bell icon, we see that there's a number 2 here. This indicates that there's 2 jobs pending from the online booking calendar. Let's take a look. We just click on the bell, and it brings us to the Job Requests Manager. So if we click Next, we see that the job that we just scheduled minutes ago appears here. It has all the information that your customer had entered. It has name, address. It also has the estimated distance. You can take a look at the address. If you click this, it'll pull up a map showing where the customer is located. And we see also the 2 services that the customer had requested. So we recommend that you contact the customer and close the loop. And when you're satisfied that the job is ready to go, you simply click the Create New Job. And it'll walk you through the creation of a new customer and the job. So let's do this. We'll create a new customer, and all the information is pre-filled in, so there's not much that you need to do. The customer is created, the job is created, and if everything looks good, just save it. So this is no longer a job request, it's an actual job. So we see that the number over here that was 2 on the bell is now 1, because this job request was promoted to actually being a job. So let's see it on the schedule. We'll go over to the scheduling page. And we see on that Tuesday at 10:10, Karen James is now scheduled for a job. We can now open this. If we double click here, you see that job again. So this is all very powerful. So that it originates on your website with your customer visiting, filling out a form, It appears within the Workwell Command Center, and if you approve of the job, it enters the database automatically with a new customer and a new job. It appears in the schedule and everywhere else within the Workwell Command Center. So notice that we're looking at jobs and available slots. We selected that event type here at the right. All the dark blue boxes, these indicate jobs that have already been scheduled. Light blue, these are time slots that you've set aside to appear on the booking calendar on your website. Okay, so let's set aside some time slots for next week. So we go to next week, we see that on Tuesday you have no business. So it'd be great if a customer could self-schedule themselves for Tuesday. So let's do that. Let's set aside some time at 9 o'clock. So you're hoping that at 9 o'clock somebody might book. And let's also do 1 o'clock. So these two time slots will now appear on the online booking calendar on your website. Okay, so suppose on Tuesday morning, somebody calls and wants you to do a job. You no longer want this job to be set aside on your online booking calendar because you need this time, for an existing job. You can either reschedule by moving it someplace else, change its duration, or if you double-click on it, you can delete it. So now that time slot's no longer on your online booking calendar. So it's very easy to manage what appears on your online booking calendar just by double-clicking to create new time slots, dragging existing time slots to other times, other dates, and perhaps even changing their durations. Okay, so we covered what the online booking calendar looks like on your website and how customers interact with it. We then covered how incoming job requests appear within the command center and how you then manage those job requests and then convert them into jobs. And then we saw how you manage the time slots using the scheduler in setting the event type to jobs and available slots. So now I'd like to show you how that online calendar appears on your website to begin with. All right, to do that, go to the admin menu and select Setup Info. So we see a setup section for online booking, and it has several parts to it. The one of interest right now is this little snippet of code that says iframe. If you paste this one line of code on a page on your website, then when a visitor comes to that page on your website, that entire online booking form and calendar will appear. That's all you need to do to create that online booking page. That, and as I mentioned earlier, you should put buttons on the top of all of your pages that say Book Now. That when the customer clicks on that button, it will take them to the page with the calendar and all the forms. So these other portions of this setup allow you to manage your online booking calendar. For example, you can disable it. So if you click this button here, whenever a visitor to your website goes to the online booking page, what they'll see is a message indicating that it's temporarily out of service. And you have the option to show prices or not, to show a minimum total price, and to set that price. You can set a driving radius, and you can set a service radius. So let's say we'll set 20 miles. So if a visitor to your website books a job and they live more than 20 miles away from your home base, they'll get that warning that you saw earlier in the presentation. So we rely on Google to calculate the distance between the customer location and your home base location. So we send the customer address and the home base address up to Google. Google returns an estimated driving distance. And you'll need to set an address for your home base. If it's the same as your company address, you don't need to do anything. Okay, so let's summarize. You set up the online booking calendar by putting this one-line snippet of code on a page on your website. You can enable the calendar, you can set prices, minimum price, driving distance, and home base. And on the scheduler, this is where we set aside the available time slots that appear on the online booking calendar. For more on this subject, go to our blogs and view the online booking article. Thanks for viewing this tutorial, and please watch some of our other tutorials. They'll help you to learn and master the Workwell Command Center and mobile app. And don't forget, there are ample help and learning aids built directly into the software. Also, the website has a lot of additional material that can help you to learn how to operate the Command Center and mobile app.